Let's talk about business coaching because I have a lot to say on the subject. I have talked about this before. I've spent like upwards of $100,000 probably on business coaching at this point, whether it's courses, coaching, masterminds, group programs, etc. I have spent an astonishing amount of money on business coaching that I don't regret, right? I would never sit here and say, like, I regret it or this was not a good investment or whatever. But I wish I had known the reality of what I was signing up for and pursuing before I made those decisions. And so I want to give you the real, honest, a truth, understanding, like breakdown of what it is that you can actually expect from business coaching and the mindset that I really, really recommend you take when you are investing in a program. Because, I mean, listen, I could sit here and say business coaching is necessary. You make the money that you invest. Like, if you're serious about your business or you're serious about, whatever, then you'll buy my program. Like, I could easily do that, but I'm not going to do that. Do I want you to join Do the Damn Thing? Obviously. Because I think it'll change your life, right? But I'm not going to do that. I want you to make an educated decision that is going to support you and support your goals, understanding like what business coaching actually is. Okay, so let's get the fuck into it. The first thing that we need to talk about is why you might invest in business coaching or group program or support, because a lot of people come into business for themselves with two mindsets, right? The first, and these are like the two mindsets that are not working for you. So the first is that I'm never going to invest. I don't need any help. I'm not going to hire a business coach. It's a waste of money. I'm scared. I don't have the money. I'm terrified of like this, and that, and I'm just not going to do it. And the second type of person is someone like me who wants to wants to invest, wants to, get that help, but it's also coming from fear. It's coming from this place of like, I'm scared that if I don't get the help, I can't do this. And I don't feel good enough to be able to pull this off and yada, yada, yada. And so I'm going to jump from program to program and spend tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on business coaching, to hopefully get the magical solution to how to like get my business to success. Okay. Neither of those mindsets are going to help you. In the first mindset, you are robbing yourself of the chance to have like such valuable growth and support with something that is hard. Running a business, building a business to the point of success is hard. It takes time. For most people, I would say 99% of people, you are going to have to build momentum in order to see success for your business. There are a very small percentage of people who get in a business and they immediately start blowing up and like making all this money and whatever. For most people, you have to build momentum. And so getting that support helps expedite the process. It helps speed things up. And it also gives you an outlet to be able to talk about how difficult and challenging this is emotionally, mentally, or like strategically, right? When people in your life are not going to get it. You can't go talk to your partner or your best friend or your parents about how challenging this is for you if they've never run a business, because what are they going to say? Like, oh yeah, that sounds hard. And then you're like, oh, that didn't really like do anything for me. Okay. And worse than that, they might try to talk you out of it and be like, well, if it's so hard, then just quit. And it's like, well, that's also not the point. So you're going to have to invest. Like, that's just what it is. And so being able to, one, set aside a budget for your investing, and two, knowing like investing in yourself and joining business coaching or working with a coach is an incredibly empowering decision if you let it be. And you're the only one who can decide whether it's empowering or whether you feel like you're, being taken advantage of. And obviously, if you're in a situation where you're actually being taken advantage of, like, that's a different story. But for the most part, like, it's very easy to come into business coaching with this mindset of like, it's not going to work. How is this going to help me? I don't have enough money. I don't have this. I don't have that. And if you need the help, get the help. Like, what are we doing? Just quit the drama and get the help. Obviously, if you actually don't have the money, then like, don't spend money you don't have. Take it from me, bankruptcy high. But like, if you do have the money and you're just stressed about spending the money that doesn't seem to have an immediate ROI, then that's actually something that your business coach can and should be able to help you with. Okay. Flip side of that, if you are a person who is jumping from course to course, workshop to workshop, coach to coach, looking for solutions, looking for someone to give you the answers and fix it so you can make, $200,000 or make $1 million or whatever, that is also coming from fear. Like, both of these mindsets around coaching are fear-driven mindsets, and making any decision for your business from a place of fear is not a good idea. Like, it will not prosper, because whatever you make, whatever decisions that you make from anxiety and fear and not feeling good enough will amplify those feelings of anxiety and fear and not feeling good enough. So investing in every single business coach is also not the move. Like, I would seriously consider taking a pause, taking a beat, and being like, okay, let me see if I can do this with what I have right now. I don't need any more education. I don't need any more coaching. I don't need any more anything for a second. Let me just see what I can do with what I currently have, because you are astonishingly powerful and you have all the tools that you need, right? Like, even if you need more information, you have all the tools to be able to get that information. So you actually have to put it, like, you can't just jump from program to program looking for someone to save you or looking for someone to give you the magic keys to success. You have to just start trusting yourself and start relying on yourself. And then once you've gone through that period of like, okay, I am only working with what I have, then you can play with the idea of getting support and coaching again, because I don't think that anyone is like too skilled to need coaching. We are all human beings. We all need support, and we all thrive when we have the right support, because that's the whole point of getting help, is putting yourself in a position to thrive. So either way, whether you are hoarding your money and refusing to invest in yourself and your growth, or you are spending it all on people because you're outsourcing your power, both of those things are coming from a contracted state. They're coming from fear, and you need to step into the empowered business owner in order to make your investment decisions and looking at, what do I want from this coach, from this program, and is this investment going to get me the things that I want to learn? With business coaches online, their job is to sell you the dream that you already have. To say, if you join my course, buy my program, work with me, follow my advice, then you will have the 10K months, the 30K months, the, super successful business, the freedom, the spa days, like everything that you've ever wanted, you will have that if you come do my program or work with me. Okay. That's their job. And frankly, if you are selling literally anything, that's your job, is to communicate to the people that you're trying to sell to, like, hey, if you want the very thing that you want, come work with me because I can help you get it. All right. So people talk a lot about business coaching being a scam. And while I do very much agree that there are scam artists and like con artists in the coaching industry, I don't even think a lot of them actually know or believe that they are scam artists. I think a lot of them believe that they're like doing good work, but because they don't have the capacity, or they haven't like allowed themselves to have the capacity to, hear criticism or like take on differing opinions or see outside of themselves, they're selling these very like narrow, limited business coaching programs, or maybe they are just following the advice of their own business coach and they're scaling and they're doing all the things, but they don't actually have the coaching experience in order to justify that level of like whatever it is they're trying to provide, that level of program, that level of like coaching support, etc. Because that's a big problem in the coaching industry, is like people get so focused on making the money and they lose the integrity, and then they get called out for being a scam artist. And it's like, well, they're not trying to be scam artists. They're literally just like, they've lost the plot in trying to feed themselves, which may like, there's a little bit of relatability in there. So the point of me telling you that is that I want you to understand that not only is every coach going to sell you on this dream in a fairly exaggerated way, like the tides are definitely changing, but in general, right, you're going to see a lot of claims on the internet about like what these business coaches can do for you and the potential. And then you're going to see right at the same time a lot of contradicting advice, right? Do business this way. No, do business that way. No, this is what I think of the coaching. No, that. People come to me all the time and they're like, Whitney, I'm so confused. There's so much contradicting information. I don't know what to do, who to listen to. Like, I don't know what's right or wrong. I feel like I'm changing my strategy every 5 minutes. Deep breaths. That is always going to happen. That will never not happen because people have different ways that they got to their success. People have different methodologies and strategies, and their work, just like how my work is not for everyone, their work is not for everyone. And so it's very easy to start following a business coach because you see all the success that they've made or whatever and think, oh, like, I want that, that's for me. And then you get into the program and it doesn't feel right at all. Everything that you're doing doesn't feel right. So what do you do in that situation? One, if you're not getting something out of a business coaching program, leave. Like, tell them and see if you can get some money back. That's okay. Like, I have also parted ways with clients in the middle of our contract because it just wasn't the right fit. And it wasn't a knock on me or a knock on them. It was just quite literally in the same way that you are not going to, stick with a therapist who you're not jiving with. Like, you should not be paying a business coach thousands of dollars if you're not resonating with their help, if they are not able to support you in the way that you need. So you need to remember like your agency in all of this, and remember that you get to choose how you handle these situations. Like, you are not being beholden just because you signed a contract. Like, we are all human beings at the end of the day. And if a coach won't let you out of a contract, that's another conversation entirely, right? But like, you need to be prepared to advocate for yourself. And the best way to do that is to remember that business coaches and people who are successful in business are not above you or better than you just because they have figured out how to be successful and you are just starting out or you're still trying to figure it out. They are not better than you. They are not superior to you, okay? A lot of people think they are. And the problem with this, right, is that when you look up to a coach and you put them on a pedestal of they know more than me and they are better than me and all of that stuff, you are setting them up to fall, and you are going to also suffer because of it, because they will fall. If you put anyone on a pedestal, they will fall. Coaches are not the end all be all, the saving grace, the people who are going to save the day and help you and fix you. Coaches are here to teach you things that you don't know, to hold you accountable to a level of growth and expansion that you likely are not going to get on your own, because our brains like fully protect us from expanding and growing past what is familiar. And they are here to help you see the things in your business that you cannot see, or come with strategy or come with like guidance, mentorship that you need to get to wherever it is that you want to go. It doesn't mean that you're going to invest in a program and like overnight be a success. Even if they are showing screenshots of people who had $40,000 launches and et cetera, like it does. I need you to tread lightly and take all of that with a grain of salt, because your journey is your journey, and that is completely out of the coach's control. All they can do is offer whatever it is that they are here to offer. And all you can do is continue to show up, to utilize the advice, to like, if you're paying this coach, I'm not saying that you have to take all of their advice by any means. I think that it is so powerful to not take some of the advice and to, honor what you want and your intuition and your entrepreneurial genius, right? But if you are paying a coach for their mentorship, but you're not putting any of it into action, like, yeah, it's not gonna go super well. Like, you're not gonna get a lot out of it. So your job is to just show up and do your best. It doesn't mean that you're going to like be able to put it all into action or, whatever. Just show up and do your best. This is something I say in the beginning of all my programs. It's like, I don't care if you watch 2% or like if you act on 2% of the information that I give you. If you're showing up, you will get so much out of this program. You will get exactly what you need out of this program. And that is what I always say, because literally the bare minimum is just showing up, and that is okay. That's enough. And then what you do from there is a part of the journey. Business is not an overnight journey. It is a long haul. So we need to remember that when investing in coaching programs. On that same note, if you are, being given this strategy or this approach to business or whatever, you're being given like coaching homework, basically, where you need to go implement something in your business and you're not doing it, you feel so blocked and stuck. There's likely two reasons for this. Either one, there's a lot of like mindset work and things that are coming up that you need to address. I'm thinking about one time in my past in particular, that's like, I was being blocked because there was so much I hadn't addressed, so many beliefs, so many fears, so many insecurities, like that were just getting in my way and hitting me in the face over and over and over again. And I couldn't get myself to like make a freaking PowerPoint on the thing that I knew so much about. Okay. So there's that. The second reason is that maybe the strategy that you are being taught is not for you. Okay. And this is a big thing. Like sometimes it's just not right for you. Sometimes here's an example. I frequently have clients, like because I used to be a dietitian, I frequently have clients who are dietitians currently, and they have businesses for nutrition counseling and for their dietitian work. And they come to me after working with a dietitian business coach or two, and they'll come to me with a business model that is a evergreen enrollment, ongoing group coaching business model. And they're burnt out. They're frustrated. They're like, I hate that this is constantly enrolling. I hate like having to start over every time new people join. I just hate this model, but like, this is what the coach told me to do and it's working and I'm making money. And it's like, ugh, but you hate it. Like in what part? It's unfortunate because they're in a position of authority, right? So we look to them and it's like, well, they probably know better than me. If you hate it, don't do it. If you hate it, it's not going to work for you. Even if it's making you a little money right now, like it's not going to be sustainable long term. You have to work with coaches who understand that your business is highly individual and the things that you want to do are highly individual. Do not work with coaches who they only know one method or one way of building a business, and that is the way that worked for them. And they want you to follow it, copy and paste, no matter what. Because it's just not like, it's probably not for you. There's going to be a select few people in their audience who their specific approach to business is for them. And they're going to get incredible results and they're going to make tens of thousands of dollars. And you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be like, what is wrong with me that I did not get the results that person got? It wasn't for you. It was never for you. This isn't customized advice. That was one strategy that like didn't work for you. Okay. So remembering that just because a coach is been in business for longer or has made a lot of money or claims to have all the answers doesn't mean that they know better than you. So if you have that feeling inside of you that you're like, this is not for me and like I don't know really what to do with this, please listen to that. Like please trust your instincts because you are the business owner. I know it gets a little confusing when we are business owners and we're like coaches, right? Or we're content creators, or like the thing that we're doing online is extremely personal because it doesn't necessarily feel like we're running a business. You're not running a brick and mortar, right? You are showing up online on your like personal account, your personal social media account, and you're trying to like sell people things that are extremely personal to you. And so it can get a little like confusing about what we're supposed to do. And it's very common for people to go looking for the right answer or the right solution or the thing that's going to unlock their success or whatever. And at the end of the day, you are the entrepreneur. This is a business. This is not some like passion project or whatever. It's a business. So in order for it to be treated like a business, you need to remember your power as the business owner and the fact that you're in charge here. Yes, you're working with that coach, but you are in charge of your business. You have veto power. You get the last say, and you're the one who experiences either the benefits or the consequences of whatever it is that you implement in your business. So if something doesn't feel right to you, don't do it. And it doesn't mean that you're never going to get anything from that coach that's helpful or valuable. I can think of so many times where I joined coaching programs and the thing that they were teaching was not necessarily right for me, but the things that I got out of that program were invaluable because I was looking for the things that were for me. And I was trusting my own guidance and trusting my own power in those situations. Now, to close this out, I think one of the most powerful mindsets and intentions that you can have going into a business coaching program is that you are using this program, experience, course, whatever it is, that you are using it as a vehicle and as a tool to hold yourself to a new frequency, a new way of being, okay? That is so freaking empowering. I'll give you an example. I invested in a coaching program years ago. I want to say it was like 2020 or 2021. And I was very nervous because I had done a lot of programs and I felt like I didn't trust myself, right? Things were not going the way that I thought that they were going to go. I didn't trust myself to make this decision. And so what I did instead was I was like, okay, if I'm going to spend the money on this, because I've already spent so much money on programs. So if I'm going to spend the money on this, I'm going to make a commitment to myself that one, I will show up to this program fully and completely, right? I will give it my all. Obviously, I'm not going to shame myself if there are days that I can't show up or if my all is not like what I wish it was, but I am going to give it as much as I have to give, okay? That was the first thing. The second thing was I was like, this is going to be a period of time where I am holding myself to a certain standard, a certain way of being that I really want to be. And I'm just going to see. It's going to be an experiment. We're just going to try it out. And that was so powerful because it was no longer about the coach being able to give me something that I didn't have. It was no longer about the outcome and me obsessing about how much money I was making. This was strictly about me using this opportunity, this container, this vehicle to be able to get closer to the person that I wanted to be. And that is entirely up to me. And what's great is that the coaching program is the external accountability that I needed to be able to be reminded of that when things got hard. So if I can give you any advice about business coaching or coaching in general, it's that regardless of what you get out, what the coach is able to do, regardless of how much money you make or, whatever, that you go into programs using this as an opportunity to be a better version of yourself and to show up in the way that you want to show up, that you take it seriously, that you treat this investment not like you're throwing money at a problem and hoping to fix it, but that you are actually like investing in yourself and investing in the type of person that you want to be and the way that you want to run your business and in the support and the help that you can get from this person who you are trusting, and that it's a guaranteed fact that you are going to get something out of it, that you are going to benefit and thrive from this experience. And it doesn't really matter how much you pay for the experience. Like you could pay $100 for it or you could pay $10,000 for it. Treat all of it the same. Take it all just as seriously. I would say the same thing for this like free podcast. Take it just as seriously as you would take a $10,000 group coaching program. Because that is how you guarantee that you will get something out of it. And that is how you take the power back. Love you.